All right. How are you doing? So, so, it is definitely a pleasure to be here. Last day of the year, December 31st, 2023. So I'm trying out something new. And as usual, I'm the type of person who loves to figure things out. So I'm here. I've used StreamYard before. And so I'm trying to use it to stream to multiple locations at the same time. And so I just wanted to come on and just talk about my year and talk about 2024 and to even might say a prayer about the expectations for next year. So we went to church today, and this is the third Sunday that I've been to church consistently, 3 Sundays in a row. So, people are supposed to go to church, but I think that's a good thing. I took made the intention and, went into the house of God. So Sundays, I would usually just watch, church online, but I actually went to church, and today was Appreciation Sunday for our Pastor Walker. And, he's that type of pastor who is a servant, like someone, everybody that spoke about him and spoke about his work, recognized how he serves diligently, committed, make sure that his congregation is good and that his community is doing well. And so, when you come across people like that, you have to give them their appreciation before it's too late, right? And so we also want to think about the people in our lives that we surround every day. Like, how do we make sure that we appreciate and show appreciation to them before it's too late? So if you know me, I wrote the book, My Ultimate Self, How Death Became My Motivator. And while it's talking about death, it is more so encouraging people to learn how to live life now, live life to the fullest. And so, how do we make sure that as we're living, we're being good, we're being good people, we're loving each other, we're serving, but we're also being the best version of ourselves, learning and recognizing where we are and know that we need to change things. We need to make improvement so that we can serve others and serve others better. And so I hope that you all had a great 23, ups and downs, but overall, things went well. After 2020, I try not to say, "Oh, this is the worst year ever," or "Can't wait for 2024," because we don't know what God has in store, right? We don't know what 24 is gonna bring, and so we have to appreciate the moment now and just be prepared and ready to be flexible and roll with the punches as, things come up in 2024. So again, let's see. Okay, I see, someone said something. You were public speaking, executing what you spoke about in your book. Yes, definitely. So I'm gonna touch on the book shortly because while the first part of the book speaks about, going through those challenges, recognizing every challenge that you have in your life is an opportunity that God is trying to use for you to learn how to overcome certain things, how to be a better person because He has more responsibilities and more things for you to do. And so you can only get better by going through those challenges. But sometimes when you're in those challenges, you cannot understand why, right? You question God, you question yourself, you are like, how comes I'm here? But just learning how to navigate and master those situations is important because as you get past these obstacles, these hurdles, you recognize the lesson, right? And then you realize that, you know what, there are things in me that I need to do. There is a light, there is something that God put in me that I need to do. And so regardless of what is happening, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to do my best to get to that place because God wants me to serve in various ways. Everyone has a talent or something we need to master or manage or coordinate or network and connect people. And so we have that task. And if we're stuck in that dark place, then we can't get to what it is that God wants us to do. And so going through the challenge and getting past those things, eventually. So in the book, part two talks about people that I've lost. My dad, my grandnephew, my coworker, Miss Humphrey, someone that I worked with in Zonta International. And so those were four key people that I spoke about, wrote about in my book. Part three of the book, I'm going into the book, even though we're going to talk about the book later. So part three of the book is what I will probably get back to, but that's the part where, there's some work to be done. Yes, we have problems, and yes, we have, you know, ideas of things that we want to do, but how do we get there? And so part three is that work. How do we realize, accept, take action, make decisions, and get to the place where we need to get to? And so, yeah, I'll come back to that later. And so let's see. As I said, I'm trying to use um, the features in StreamYard. So I found out about StreamYard as a Google Education trainer. You get different perks. So I got a free membership of it for quite some time that I didn't really use, but I practiced using it. And so let's see. So my 2023 started off, let's see, around March. My niece had a exquisite networking event in West Orange. And so she invited me to be there to talk about my technology, background and experience and how small businesses can use technology to, help their business. And that was my first public speaking event for 2023. And since then, I've done a few things. My job allows me to do bi-weekly webinars or WebEx with our clerks. So as a supervisor in our student information services department, I support all the clerks, mostly the elementary school clerks. So let's see, the last time I got the number wrong, almost 40 schools, right? Each school has a power school clerk, so I support them in making sure that our data is clean. And so we do bi-weekly webinars where we go over things. So yeah, the Exquisite event is the first one I did back in March. And going through the years, some pivotal points, my daughter, she's in special dance at her school. So she is an awesome performer. And so that is something that gives me great joy to see her doing things to exhibit her passion. And so I encourage people, find those things that you love. When you're in those dark days and moments, find the things that you love, whether it's walking outside, taking photographs, dancing. I love to dance, and I have that as one of my things that I did. So I reconnected with Club Eclipse, which is a club that's in Newark. It's been around for about 40 years. The owner is George, very lovely gentleman, kind, warm-hearted, and so he owns the club. And been in New Jersey for a while. You've probably been to Club Eclipse, but I can depend on them to have some music to play that I can dance to whenever I'm ready. And so I've been there quite a lot just to dance. Even if it's me alone on the dance floor, I'm a dance and enjoy myself. And when I go out, I dance. because I have so much to be thankful for. I have so much to just be grateful for. And so, when I see people just standing around them looking upset and not really sure if they need for dead here, I'm like, they probably haven't gone through some things in their life that make them realize how grateful they are to just be out and about and be able to walk, right? Some people are sick, they can't be out, they can't be around. People are locked up in jail, they can't be out and about like we do, and we have the freedom, right, to do things. So as we move and navigate, let's just walk in peace and joy. I There was a message that I've posted about Maria Baraka at a holiday event at North Museum. So one of the things he encouraged people to do is to serve gracefully. Whatever position you are in, you're there for a reason. You're there to serve others, serve the public, serve the people that you work with. So can you think about doing it with grace, right? Put yourself in the shoe of the person that you're serving. Understand the plight that they're going through, why it is that they took their time to come there to see you. Like if they didn't have a problem or they didn't need assistance, they wouldn't come there, waste their time to come and see you. So how do you serve gracefully? So yeah, so find things that you enjoy. As I said, my daughter loves to dance, and I enjoy seeing her and knowing that she is living and showing up in herself. And then my son, I posted his lacrosse games. He plays defense. He's played lacrosse for like since third grade. He's now in the ninth grade. So this year, as part of the end of year, he was selected to play on the New Jersey All Star team for lacrosse. And he did well. The eighth grader. Now he's in the ninth grade, so now he's going to be playing for the high school. So I get immense joy seeing him run down the field with the ball. Um, yeah, he's pretty good. And then another major thing I did was I went back to Jamaica after 10 years. So 10 years ago, my dad died, Reginald Birch, and yeah, I didn't go back to Jamaica. I know I said it before in one of these live, like, being up Jamaican, raised the Jamaican flag at Newark City Hall and all of that, and all this time I haven't been back to Jamaica. So I went back and I had a great time. It was short. Went with my niece, she stayed at the Grand Palladium in Lucy, and it was an amazing experience. So I'm looking forward to going back again. And then I went to Woman Evolve in Texas. That was a great experience. Met some wonderful women who were just about, loving God and showing up and committed to themselves and know that, if I change myself, we all have problems, we all have trauma that we've gone through, but if I commit to changing and bettering myself, it's only gonna impact and better the lives of the people in my family, the people that I work with, and my community. So 40,000 women showed up in Texas for Sarah Jakes Roberts Woman Evolve, and it was awesome. And so, yeah, find out how you can connect and serve. We ending the year. How did you serve others? You know, how did you give yourself to things that didn't really, they weren't beneficial to you, but you did things out of the goodness of your heart to help others. So as we go into 2024, what are some of the goals? What are some of the things you expect? Like 12 o'clock is gonna come, and I know some of us are probably getting ready to party and all of that good stuff. And Patrice, the soca artist, Patrice Roberts, she has a song that says, "Father, watch over us." As we go into this party, watch over us. We're getting ready to have fun. We're getting ready to enjoy ourselves and have a good time, but we're still asking God to watch over us. And so, as we because the reality of it is that, you know, between now and 12 o'clock, some people want to see tomorrow. And as I go out on the road, I tell myself I can be one of those people. And again, that's sort of why I wrote the book, right? How do we just live life being purposeful, loving each other, knowing who we are. I say that that is one of the biggest problems that we have in society. People who don't know who they are will be the people who are envious of others. They're not secured in who they are, what they look like, what they do. It's okay to want to change up yourself and do all of that and to be the best version of yourself. But if you're not secure in who you are, then you're gonna covet others because of what they have achieved, but you don't understand how much they've gone through to get to that place. The challenges, like when we see someone, there are so many aspects about that person that you could never replicate or be that person. All the experiences, all the hurt, all the learning, all the networking that they did to get to that place. Like so many little intricate things make them who they are. And so we have to just appreciate others. And when you see someone show up with a light that's doing something great, you just appreciate them. Don't be afraid to tell them. Don't be afraid to tell somebody that they're beautiful. Don't be afraid to, say, okay, you did that well, or I would love to learn from you. How did you do that? What are some things or techniques you could teach me? And so, yeah, just being able to connect with yourself and know who you are. Like look in the mirror and love you however you are, however you show up. Your pimples, things might not be how you think they should be, but I think God made us all the way how He wanted us to. So love yourself, love God. God, um, God is a major part of my life, and I encourage you. Now, in September, I did a live, and I said, "Pastor, put me on blast because I have never been baptized. I was born in the church. My dad was an elder. My mom's a what do you call it? Missionary, and she will pray for you forever. You have a conversation with her, and it's not gonna end until there's some prayer or something about God in the conversation. So I grew up just loving God, but I've never been baptized. And so when I'm talking about God, I'm not saying everybody needs to be a Christian, right? Again, I love to dance. And so we shouldn't have to separate loving God with living, enjoying life, being a good person. So it's all a part of who we are and what we can be. And so I encourage you to see God, see that spiritual side of life because it's all important. And when you can get that spiritual awareness, man, it can take you through those stormy days. You learn how to just know that God got you. And He's going to take you through this because until it's our time, it's going to get better. Things are going to get bad, but it will get better. And so we just have to be mindful of that. And so I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's in the book in part 3 of the book. So one part says habits I used to win. Hmm. So some people don't really know my full story, and my full story is not in this book, right? This book is simply about my experiences of people that I've lost, how I processed it, and how I would love for people who are going through loss to see that it's okay and what are some techniques that you can use to get to that place of peace and understanding. So, like losing my 18-year-old grandnephew at the end of 2020, has changed December for us, has changed December for my family. We were like, oh my gosh, we are about to end December. Nobody got COVID. And then that happened, and so it changed our life forever, and we could all be stuck in that place and ask God why. But for me, I took it as it's something that happened, and that's my personality over the years. I am that person who says, "It happened, the glass break, I can't pick it back up, I can't fix it back, it can't ever be the same as it was before, so I'm not gonna stress about it, I'm not gonna get upset about it." So, my calm, cool personality, that's just me. But, it's good to show emotion sometimes and, not be that poker face person. But, as I said, part 3, habits I used to win. No, let me go back. Chapter 13, taking action, results-oriented action. So sometimes we wanna get things done, but we do not take the time to get awareness, make a decision, and take action. And so that chapter talks about a framework that I created, and I called it a radar framework. And it is all about accepting your situation wherever you are, reflecting on what happened. How did you get to that place? Why did it go wrong? Why did it go good? Right? Reflection is not about just looking at the bad things, but looking at the good and the bad. What worked, what didn't work. Then awareness is looking at all your options, exploring, connecting with people, doing your research. That's that awareness phase. What can we do that's different? And then you have to make a decision. So a decision, I say, is where things start. We think about it, we talk to other people about the problem, but at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. What is it that you decide to do? And then once you make a decision, what is that action step, right? What is the next step? What is the first step, the second step, and so far? What is the thing that I need to do now to get to that place that I want to get to? So, yeah, and then eventually you will get to your results. So that is the framework that's in chapter 13. And then the other one in here is about habits I used to win. So my grandnephew passed away. I was also going through a divorce, had massive student loan debts, depression. Oh, a little, I don't think I've ever been like obese, but according to the doctor, I was like borderline obese. And so I made a decision and commitment to myself to become better. So like getting up, whether it's cold, whether it's snowing, go to the park, run, walk, finding things to listen to. So I have like my music CDs, my music playlist that I listen to, from popcorn to Tasha Cobbs Leonard, finding positive and uplifting things to feed into my soul, to people on YouTube and influencers and people who are about positivity and getting um, listening to Potter's House and Sarah Jakes Roberts. So, as I mentioned before, there are certain, the Bible is like a playbook. It has stories and it sort of gives you a rundown of what would be what's possible. And so, reading the Bible also is a great way to get an understanding of that the problems that we're facing. It's not just happening to us. It's been happening forever and ever and ever. Amen. So, looking at how people deal with things is important. I also have a chapter on retirement and last will. So to live, right? Live to die. Live with the expectation, yes, we're gonna have a long life, right? So how are we saving for retirement? Are we putting aside anything for retirement? That's in the book, as well as the need to create a will, right? So when we pass, do we have any information about what our desires are when we go? Do we have anything about our assets and what we want our family to do? So that's also in chapter 3. So, I mean, part 3. And then we have lots of resources in the back, worksheets and stuff like that. So, yeah. So that's the book. I know it's probably a little blurry, but that's my book. Yeah, it is on Amazon. I haven't been telling people to buy it, as I mentioned before, because I have a little issue with Amazon. I returned some author books that I bought, and I feel like they're selling them, but not giving me a royalty from it. And so, but it's there. If you want a copy, I also have copies of the CD. I always have them in my car. They're $18, and so I'm going to be, creating some opportunities to share my knowledge and my story more in the future. And so as we get ready to close out 2020 and get ready for 2024, I am going to just say a little prayer. Yay. Thank you for joining. I haven't been checking all of the tourist destinations to see who is where. Let's see. So, dear Lord, I thank you for today. I thank you for allowing us all to live to see 2020, the last day. I pray that you guide and continue to bless us as we seek to go into 2024 with new dreams and new desires, or continuing some of the old dreams and the desires that we didn't master this year. And so, Lord, I want to thank you, all these individuals who decided to click the link to listen to me speak, dear Father. I want you to a special prayer, special anointment into their lives, whatever is happening in their lives, Lord. I thank you for them, and I pray that you will help them to see that, yes, they can do all things through you because they were in your image. And so they have the power that is within you. And so I thank you, dear Lord, for everything, every opportunity, every problem that you pass my way that was able to get me to this place. I thank you for all the people that I've been associated with. I thank my family, my kids, my ex-husband, his family, Lord. I thank them all for the experiences and opportunities to be who I am today. I thank my job, the Newark Board of Education, where I've been for 22 years, all the leadership, the people that serve the students of Newark. I thank the mayor and his family and his mom and all the people that serve Maplewood, Denver, and the entire New Jersey, entire USA, Lord. Pray that you will continue to be that light, that we look forward to being the light in others' life. And I pray that it is done in your name forever and ever. And I feel like I was going, oh my gosh, that's like my dad. But yes, there's so much more I could have said. Caribbean Commission, all, the um, council generals, the people that we interact with throughout the year through the Caribbean Commission, all the leaders who lead, help them to have that heart of service, of true leadership, of servant leadership to show up for others and make sure that everybody's okay. So have a great ending of 2023. And yeah, if you've read my book, please go to Amazon. I guess I'll start to share that link. Make a write a review. Let me know your thoughts. So I was actually in Club Eclipse last weekend. Stone Love was here, and I went and I got my party on. And there was a young lady who had bought my book previously at Club Eclipse, and I went to her and was like, how was the book? And she was like, oh my gosh, it was so good. She gave it to her daughter. her 22-year-old daughter, and she was encouraging me to write another book, and so, so it's good to get to hear that feedback, and I really do hope that it helps you or, someone who has experienced loss, because it's not really about me getting 18 dollars. It's the message, sharing the message, and, whoever you come across, if you know someone who's going through something, you can always connect with them. Uh, yeah, so enjoy. If you're going out, be safe, enjoy, and I look forward to continuing to, connecting with you and sharing in 2024. And sometimes I do apologize because I know, like, last night I posted like 9 things, but I wanted to put them all together on my Instagram. So I shared all the episodes from the Caribbean TV. You know what? Caribbean TV, which is a new name I came up with. So yeah, so if you get a chance, go watch those. The full version are on Nork TV, but those are just small summary of the recordings that were made last year. And coming soon, we're going to be posting the new episodes. So if you are in the Newark area, or not, if you're in the Caribbean, you're watching this from the Caribbean, and you want to come showcase and speak to the Newark, New Jersey audience, connect with me. And if it's something that aligns with what we're doing, you could be a guest on North Caribbean TV. So have a blessed rest of your evening, and I will see you. Keep me in your prayers too, because I feel like God has something for me to do, and I'm like one step closer to getting there. So thank you.